What's going on, YouTube and all you DIYers out there like myself? Welcome to another episode of my pathetic life as a homeowner. In this episode, I will be showing you the trim that I have been working on, but more specifically, I'm not going to be showing you how to put trim in. It's pretty straightforward. I'm going to show you how to do the curved parts. One here, and on the other side, we got this curved part right here. So follow along and let's get started. All right, trims out. Goal for today, make this fit into this. MDF style wood. Let's see what we need to do. First thing I do, I just cut a piece. I know it's gonna fit in here. I know it's gonna go to somewhere around here, it doesn't matter. Long story short, what do we need to do? Let's start by measuring this thing, this circumference. And this doesn't really need to be exact, it's just an idea. Essentially, the curve that we're dealing with is around 3 feet. So what I'm gonna do with that 3-foot measurement is I am going to take it and I'm going to transfer that 3-foot measurement onto this, and I am going to put essentially notches all along the way. I'll show you how to set that up. All the way up to 3 feet. I'm gonna cut the end here at 45 so that it butts up against this piece over here, and let's see what we need to do. First things first, grab yourself a damn beer. All right, let's measure that 3-foot line right here, and then we're gonna put a line here with a square. I'm gonna do a little bit past. So next, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do little increments and put lines in it. So I'm just gonna use this, it's about 1 inch as a reference. Put a line here, keep going, put a line here. Since I need to do that 45, I'm gonna do the 45 right now, like this. Next, we're gonna set up this saw. Pardon this actual saw. This saw is an actual piece of shit. I bought this back when I was a broke college kid, around 15 years ago. So this thing is crap. I should buy a new one, but I'm working on it. So every saw that essentially you should be able to have access to should have some sort of adjustment, so you don't have to, so the blade doesn't go all the way down. And right now I'm just adjusting this right now so that the blade stops so it doesn't cut all the way through. So what we're trying to do is create a bit of a gap between cutting a lot of the material out, but not all of the material out. So I'm trying to create essentially like about a 1/8, a little bit more, maybe around a 1/8 gap without cutting all the way through the material. So I'm gonna test that out right now. There we go. That's kind of what I'm trying to do right there. So that's pretty much a perfect height. I'm gonna lock that in and I'm gonna start cutting all these little strips here. Here's what we got. We got this piece here that's a bit of an accordion, and now it's got some flex to it. So let's go try to fit it in there, see if it works. Now the trick with this is you don't want to force it too much, but cross your fingers, it works out very well. In this case, it looks like we're gonna be good. Look at that, look how beautiful that looks, nice and curved. So what I'm gonna do now is, I'm gonna take this end and just put a little bit of an angle there so I can butt up the next piece to it. But that's it, bam, look at that. So let's move on to the next step. Trim is nailed in, time to start filling all these cracks. My trim's square, so all of these cuts that we did, they never made it through, so it makes it really easy when I'm filling this in. I just gotta fill in the tops. If you bought that trim that they've been selling since the 90s where it's got goddamn waves in it, there's a good chance that when you're doing this, these pieces where you're cutting, it might go through all the way through. So that's not a big deal. All it does is just add a little bit of work to try to fill in the gaps in front of on the front of the face, right? So let's go ahead and get these filled in and go from there. All right, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put some tape along the top edge of the trim. I'm just gonna rip off a piece here. The reason why I'm doing this is because eventually I'm gonna be sanding down the fill, and I'm just protecting the wall from the sandpaper. I'm not actually protecting it from the fill per se, just the wallpaper, or from the sandpaper. All right, good enough. Perfect. All right, $1 million question. What do you fill this stuff with? I mean, there's three options that's gonna first come to mind. First of all, some caulk. I use this stuff, but I'm not gonna use it for this. I use the caulk for obviously the edge, which I will eventually, after it's filled, use. The next option is painter's putty. I do use this stuff, but I only use it for the nail holes. I mean, I'm gonna be using it all the way here and here and here. That's what I use this for. I don't like this stuff because I find it doesn't dry very well, and on big cracks it just kind of stays mushy. So I always use it on the nails. It works great for that. Here's what I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna be using some spackling. This is probably not something that you're thinking would work, but I mean, I've done it before and I like it. It dries really nice and tough, and then it's easy to sand and finish up. So it might not be what you're thinking, but I'm using this. If you guys have any other ideas on how to do this, please let me know. But I find this spackling works really well to fill these cracks. So let's get started. I got a little blade here. Let's just start shoving it in those cracks. That's all I'm doing, is shoving it all the way in there, as deep as you can go. All right, I'm not trying to like clean it off really good with my finger because we're gonna come back here with some sandpaper and sand this off, but I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do one more layer after this. One dries up a little, and then after that, make it a little bit thicker and get the sanding, and it should come out looking pretty damn clean. 2 layers down. It's a little rough right now. Next up the bat, time to do some sanding. I don't really think it matters what sandpaper you got. I got 180 grit. But all we gotta do is shape this now. Probably get a vacuum, but that's looking really good. All you gotta do is shape it down, and all the cracks are gone. All right, I put on some couple layers of paint here, so this is good to go. All we gotta do now is get rid of the paint, the tape. I try to do this like this. Try to cut it out a little bit. Peel it out. Now the last thing to do, time to whip out the caulk. And throw some caulk along the edge to seal the gap. Gotta rub that in. Right there. And there you have it. There you have it, folks. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. If you are doing your own DIYs like myself all the time, feel free to subscribe. I'm always constantly working on stuff around the house. Something's either breaking or something's getting updated. So, cheers.